In this video, let's take a closer look at the deeply emotional character of Dracula from Hotel Transylvania. What makes him so interesting is that he's not just the feared Lord of the Night, but also a father, a husband, and a man who carries a lot of pain. Beneath his strong protective nature, there's a tragic story of love, loss, and fear that shaped who he is. At the heart of his pain is one single devastating event, the loss of his beloved wife Martha. She passed away long before the events of the film, but Dracula's love for her never faded. She was the love of his life, and together they had a daughter, Mavis. During that time, everything seemed perfect. He had a family, he had love, his world felt complete. But all that happiness was torn away when a group of humans, driven by fear and hatred, set fire to their home, killing Martha in the process. From that moment on, everything changed for Dracula. He had to raise his daughter on his own, and the pain of losing Martha shattered his belief in humanity. He became convinced that humans would never accept monsters. This experience is the reason he decided to build Hotel Transylvania, a sanctuary where monsters could live freely without fear. More than just a hotel, it became a place where he could protect Mavis, shield her from the cruelty of the outside world, and make sure she would never suffer the same fate as her mother. The hotel became a symbol of Dracula's emotional walls, a way for him to keep the pain and the world outside at a distance. It's a place where, despite his pain, Dracula tries to create a safe haven, a place where he can heal and protect what little family he has left. His fear of losing Mavis is at the core of how he raises her. His love for her is undeniable, but it's mixed with a deep protectiveness, driven by the constant worry that something terrible could happen to her. He's terrified of losing her the same way he lost his wife, and because of this, he goes to extreme lengths to keep her safe. He keeps Mavis inside the hotel all the time, refusing to let her leave. His fear of humans still lingers, and he believes that if she steps outside, there's a chance something tragic might happen, just like it did to Martha. However, this overwhelming fear also makes him controlling. It's not just about setting rules. He goes a step further and deceives Mavis to keep her under his protection. One of the most heartbreaking moments in the movie happens when Mavis finally gets to go outside. Dracula agrees to let her leave on her 118th birthday, but when she visits a human village, she finds that the humans there are extremely hostile. What she doesn't know, though, is that the village is fake. It's all part of Dracula's plan to scare her back into the safety of the hotel. He created the village using zombies disguised as humans to make her believe the world is too dangerous for her. At first glance, this might seem like a funny scene, but when you really look at it from Dracula's point of view, it's deeply tragic.
Now my baby will be safe. Forever.
He's lying to his daughter, not out of anger or malice, but out of fear and desperation. He genuinely believes that the outside world is too cruel for her, and he's doing everything he can to protect her from it, even if it means hurting her in the process. This must have been incredibly difficult for Mavis, who is just starting to realize that her father's love and protection come at the cost of her freedom and trust. The turning point in the story comes when Jonathan, a carefree and adventurous human, accidentally stumbles into Hotel Transylvania. This is the last thing Dracula wanted. It's exactly what he's been working so hard to prevent, a human in his carefully protected world. He is horrified by Jonathan's presence and tries to get rid of him as quickly as possible. But things take an unexpected turn when his daughter Mavis starts falling in love with him. This situation is like Dracula's worst nightmare coming true. Not only is a human inside the hotel, but now his daughter is forming a connection with him, something that he just can't accept. Throughout most of the movie, he desperately tries to keep Jonathan and Mavis apart. But what makes Dracula's journey so emotional is that deep down he knows he's fighting a battle he can't win. Mavis is growing up, and she's experiencing love for the first time, something Dracula, as a father, desperately wants for her. But the more he watches them together, the more he realizes something he can't ignore. Jonathan is nothing like the humans who took away his beloved Martha. The moment that truly breaks him comes when Mavis tells him that she felt a zing with Jonathan, a special connection. Dracula knows exactly what that means because he felt the same way about Martha when they first met. It's a powerful moment for him because for the first time, he understands that Mavis' love for Jonathan isn't just a passing feeling, it's real. The turning point in Dracula's emotional journey happens when he finally realizes how wrong he's been. Jonathan leaves the hotel, thinking that his love with Mavis is impossible, mostly because of Dracula's constant interference. But what really hits Dracula hard is when he sees how devastated Mavis was by Jonathan's departure.
I thought we zinged, Dad.
You and Johnny?
I guess it was only me. But you should be happy, Dad. There's no reason for me to leave. I have no more dreams. I'm just like you now.
In that moment, he realizes the truth. He's been causing Mavis pain, the very thing he was trying to protect her from. All this time, he thought he was keeping her safe, but in reality, he was keeping her from experiencing happiness. For the first time ever, Dracula does something he's never done before. He steps outside of his comfort zone and ventures into the human world to find Jonathan. He even flies into broad daylight, something he hasn't dared to do in years. He's putting himself at risk, breaking all his own rules, just to make things right with Mavis and Jonathan. This is a huge turning point for him because he's facing his fears head-on. He's no longer hiding behind walls or trying to control everything. Instead, he's taking a real leap of faith. When he finally reaches Jonathan, his words are full of raw emotion. He admits that he was wrong, that his pain and anger had clouded his judgment for so long. He tells Jonathan that his fear of losing Mavis, just like he lost Martha, had driven him to make decisions that hurt his daughter. In this moment, Dracula comes to a powerful realization: love is worth the risk. He finally understands that protecting Mavis from pain and heartbreak doesn't mean keeping her locked away. It means letting her live her life, even if it comes with uncertainties. This moment is a huge shift for Dracula. It's the moment he lets go of the fear that's been holding him back for so long. From this point on, he begins to evolve as a character. He starts to heal from his past and open up in ways he never thought possible. He learns to accept Mavis' choices, even when they don't align with what he wanted. He stops trying to control her and starts to trust that she can make her own decisions. His emotional growth doesn't stop there. In the third movie, he even finds love again with Erica. It's not that he's forgotten about Martha. He'll always carry her memory with him, but he learns that moving forward, embracing new possibilities, and letting go of his pain doesn't mean losing the ones he loves. His story is one of healing, growth, and finding hope again, which makes him one of the most complex and moving characters in the series.